What's up, y'all? Just pulled up to Raimondi Park. We out here in West Oakland. About to interview my boy, James Harris. Born and raised in Oakland. Let's get it.
What's good, y'all? James Harris, aka Junebug. We in the town, man. Oakland Ballers field on no agenda. Let's get it.
Talk a little bit about what was life growing up for you in Oakland, day in the life as a kid. Let the camera know for the people that don't know.
Man.
This is James Harris, the one and only. Give it a little intro.
Man, James Harris, born and raised Oakland, California. Went to Oakland Tech, graduated from Oakland Tech. My family is from out here, so
yeah.
I got roots from out here, and then a couple of generations they moved us down to the south. But moms and pops is Oakland Tech too, so my sisters went there, so we bred Oakland all the way through and through. Then I did, baseball wise, I played Oakland Babe Ruth over at Greenman Field, Havens Court Middle School.
Yes, sir.
Man, they used to be rocking over there, so that's where a lot of my friends came from, is from over there too. Like, I went to school obviously with a lot of people, but a lot of my closest friends that I'm still cool with actually started there. And baseball and school kind of started to blend that way because we started to go to some of the same
What years
school.
did you play in Babe Ruth?
I was Babe Ruth. My last year was 2005.
Okay.
So then I started when I was 5. So you date that back 6, 7 years.
Been at it.
Yeah. So that was where everything was happening. Oakland Babe Ruth was like 1,300 kids.
Man.
1,300 kids in Oakland.
Some of the best
Babe
players
Ruth.
in the Bay. For real.
You think about
culture.
Jimmy Rollins, Tyson Ross. You know what I'm saying? Like, it go way back to them cats, right? Then you got me, Joe Ross. Like, you started naming dudes that started coming out. Like
Nico played in it.
Nico Horner. Like, it was deep, but it was like it was real. Like, it was about dudes that actually played, that came back and was giving back into the community and was like building us up. You feel me? That was hella cool.
What has changed since when you were a kid, but a lot of people don't know the history of Oakland Babe Ruth, I feel like, but also have just kind of let it die in a sense. So what, if you could give some background on that, this is more for the people not from Oakland, to understand the true meaning it has on guys like you, guys like myself, anyone who played in that league knows. So kind of give a little background. Obviously you broke down the history a little, but what made Oakland Babe Ruth truly different?
Oakland Babe Ruth was a community.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just start from opening day.
Yeah, whole celebration.
Opening day was a parade.
Yeah.
From Concordia.
Around the whole,
Yeah, from Concordia. And so Concordia was where the league office was.
Yep.
And that's where all the T-ballers played because they had the one small field there. And then we would basically go, like, it was about a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Down 66.
Yeah.
And you would have every team from every level, from T-ball all the way up to the
With
preps, which was 14. So you're talking about 5-year-olds to 14-year-olds going all the way down 66, all the way down to
different environment,
all the way down to Greenman, bro.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about community, I'm not just talking about like the people and the families that was in it. It was the fire department was involved. Yep. They blocked off the streets. OPD was involved. They blocked off the streets for the parade, and people knew about the parade, so you couldn't drive through.
It was like 4th of July.
You couldn't drive through Bancroft or E1.
Yeah.
Right? And E1 is East 14 for international. It's a main street that run all the way through Oakland. So they blocked off the main road, so you have to go around us for that time being for the parade, where you had 1,200 to 1,300 kids walking with banners, using the back of the trucks,
celebrating
and cars.
Something. I remember they celebrate the all-star teams, championships, whatever, from the year prior.
You had everybody in the community on that block. Like, you had like families that lived on that block that would sit on their porch on that day with bells and whistles, that was literally just kind of rooting on what I see as the next generation of kids that was just coming out of the community.
Facts.
Baseball was just the driver, the avenue, you feel me? So that's what Oakland Babe Ruth was really about. And then when you got there, they did the whole thing on the field, on the main field, where you had all the teams out there. They had somebody sing the national anthem. They had the opening day banners that you put up there.
Yeah.
And then right after they cleared the field, it was the first majors game with everybody from the league watching that game, because it was always, most of the time, one of the top like 3 or 4 teams that was playing against each other to set it off. To see how competitive it was.
Baby.
Come on, Coyotes was running the table.
Bulldogs.
Coyotes was running, bro. Hey,
not when I was there.
Hey, bro, I don't even know what I did with all the trophies because I had too many.
Coyotes
we was winning every year.
Yeah.
So it was so when you talk about like what it was really like, and then, bro, like you had the same families running the snack bar, bro. The chili cheese nachos, the chili cheese fries, the links burnt to perfection. You get what I'm saying?
But the fact that you can remember that type
the
of shit
chips,
is crazy.
you had the ice cream man coming around getting his hustle. So like that whole, when you was there, it was a place you wanted to be on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and you used to put a star or asterisk next to certain games you wanted to go. So if your kid or your little brother or your little cousin or whoever played at 9 a.m., but the big game was at 1:30, you'd play that game, go get some food, and come back.
Run it back.
You get what I'm saying? You was like, I'm coming back to watch this game.
Game.
This was because it was like one of the most competitive things that you've seen, but you just seen the camaraderie around it. But you was rooting for the game. You wasn't rooting.
Facts.
It wasn't like you was competing. You was rooting for the game to see a good game, and there was something to talk about. So, you know, that I think was a staple, and I think just the last piece of it too was like even within each individual team, you had the team parents. And what they would do is like if you had a 15 or 16 game season, every week a family was designated for the post-game meal.
Yeah.
And so it didn't matter really how much, it wasn't about money. And some went over the top, some did, you know, what they needed to do, where it was like, okay, we just gonna make some sandwiches and get some chips and a Gatorade, call it a day. And then we had something that was bringing Everton Jones.
Yeah.
We had something that was bringing JJ's with some chicken. Yeah, making spaghetti in the big pan. And you was, but they was like, you eat, you feed the kids, you hang out.
Have a good time.
And you would still have that family aspect to it. So, yo, even within your own team, there was still a family aspect, as opposed to, you know, we talk about now, everything is about, is my kid the best player on the team, and is my kid getting exposure, is my kid doing this and my kid doing that. It was like, nah, this is about how our kids are growing up together in that community. You're creating friendships within the kids.
Are you friends with
the coaches? The coaches was mentors for you. They were dads on the field. They respected you that way, right? And they treated you as such, right? At practice, in the game, they would talk about stuff you did as a kid off the field and related to on the field, and vice versa. I had one of my coaches, bro, didn't let me practice because I got in trouble at school. He said, no, you want to be a clown in class? You're going to sit on the bench and watch everybody practice, and that hurt.
You salty.
But you felt it. But it was like you just kind of hurt him different. So, you know, I think the mentorship in Oakland was just a lot different at that time, too, because it was like, I think the coaches understood that they had an impact on our life through the game.
Facts.
To be able to help us understand just kind of the tools that we needed to be able to navigate the world, because they've been out there. You know what I'm saying? But it was hella fun, though. I talk about it and I get passionate.
Yeah, you got any like a crazy story that you remember from it, or just a story that you always tell? It just could be. I know you got hella.
The parade always stand out for me, bro. Like the games, the games were, every game was similar.
Yeah.
But the parades was just different. The parade, like when you had that many people and you could see a community come together every year, and then you come back years later, and they like, oh man, it's like 200 kids in the league. I'm like, bro,
barely
200?
Barely even
that was one age group.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So that's tough to hear when.
What do you think? Obviously, you and BJ with BackyardBoyz, but what do you think are some ways that we can try and fix that? I know there's a bunch of reasons that it's happened, but it takes a group effort to fix something like that. So what can people do, at least in Oakland specifically, or that you know personally, that could help bring that back or bring something back like it?
I think it's just creating environments to introduce the game back to kids, because we lose a lot of kids to football, basketball, now soccer. So I think, you know, different opportunities. We just provide an opportunity for kids to come and enjoy the game. You know what I'm saying? Camps. To stick with it. Camps. Access, right? Like I think one of the best things that I have now working with the Ballers is that I have the ability to invite kids to games. A professional game. Yeah, a professional game. And they get to see
this isn't.
And it's different from the big league. It's different from the big leagues, but these are guys that are intimate. You talk to the players. It's close.
Sign autographs.
Sign autographs. Like it's very tangible. And when you look at that, like it's super tangible. And so, especially in Oakland, where we're a large African American community, and we're losing that aspect of it in baseball. The more of us that we see in the game, the better.
Yeah.
You see more of us in football. You see more of us in basketball.
Give something tangible for little kids to see.
That you can do this.
And they actually meet you. One of my favorite things about the Ballers is how y'all do the autographs on Sundays. That's something small, but it's different. And it also allows all the kids in Oakland, whoever's here, that interaction with them might just be enough to inspire them to do something big. You just never know.
Easily.
And you're not doing that at an A's game. You're not at the end of a game on a Sunday at an A's game. They flying out. They're not getting in a row and signing for all the fans and all the parents and taking pictures. It's more. I don't know. It's a good look to me.
Yeah, I think it's just about it being tangible, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't believe something is real or it can happen if you can't reach it or see it at a certain
depth.
If they know what I'm saying?
If their only visual of it is seeing Aaron Judge hit home runs on TV, that's a stretch. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's a stretch. Our furthest seat in our ballpark, is probably a $150 ticket at a big league game.
It's a vibe,
and it's gonna cost you $30.
Exactly.
Actually, our furthest seat is gonna cost you probably $12.
Yep, and you're in the building.
The furthest seat is gonna cost you $12. So you're still close enough for the right fielder to talk to you.
Yep, exactly. And
you get what I'm saying?
That's different.
And the closest seat to talk to the guy on the on-deck circle is
right
$30.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's attainable.
When it's that close, and you like, man, I could shake this guy's hand for $30.
Yeah.
Come on now.
The level of inspiration for the youth is high.
It's extremely high.
All right, let's transition a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your time at Tech and just life growing up in Oakland. You were a first rounder out of Tech, which is a huge accomplishment. Talk a little bit about that process. Did you play in the area codes, or what was the draft process like for you?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't even know I can get drafted out of high school.
I was gonna say, do you have a draft story?
I didn't even know I can get drafted out of high school.
Oh, you thought you were ineligible or something?
I was just focused on trying to get a scholarship, bro. I was trying to make sure moms and pops didn't have to
pay for it.
That was my thing. Like, I didn't know that I can get drafted out of high school. I was really more so chasing a different goal. So my work ethic came from just, in travel ball, to take a step back, from the Tech piece of it, is because I was also a part of that journey. Was after Little League, I did actually transition into travel ball, but that was after the fundamentals and everything I really learned in Little League. So I was a little bit more polished, or not polished, I was more competitive.
For sure.
Going into that. And so then I ended up going into travel ball, and I played with a lot of kids that was already getting some of that exposure. I was just like the fastest kid on the field, and that was always my thing, is that I was the fastest kid on the field. So, I did the travel ball deal, and that was when I started playing with other dudes that was getting recruited, and they ended up getting scholarships. And I was like, bro, how am I on the field and getting overlooked by dudes that I know for a fact? Like, my pride and my ego was like, bro, I'm better than him. You get what I'm saying? I'm playing with and against, and nothing against the dudes I played with, but I just had that chip. Like, I'm better than certain guys that are getting exposure. Why am I not getting that look? So my grind was really like, I want to get this scholarly. I want to get this scholarly. So I was really just focused on that. And so, I didn't do a lot of the showcase stuff. I just played in a lot of tournaments, and I just kept my head down and was grinding. And then I ended up getting my name apparently kind of just got passed around and thrown to some guys that had skin in the game. Stacey Pettis, Brian Morrison. They were scouts. Stacey Pettis was with the Mariners at the time. Brian Morrison was with the Rays at the time, who ended up drafting me.
Yes, sir.
Jermaine Clark was with the A's. And it was it was a lot of brothers that was scouting. I was, scouting.
I remember the time. I remember when they were all scouts.
So, I take that back into high school. So, I was playing at Tech, and the OEA was not a strong baseball league. Like, we was lucky to our league games.
Wood bats though, didn't you?
Our senior year.
Okay.
Our senior year, but we was lucky in high school to really get 3 high schools other than ourselves to field a team.
And
like Mac didn't really have a team to actually compete. Like Mac didn't really have that much of a team.
Ohio.
Fremont High was still putting guys together. Castlemont, they kind of had a team and they played.
You running.
Ohio had a team, but we were running them. It was us and Skyline that was really just going at it. So our preseason was really more of our season, and then it was us and Skyline in the regular season. But it was still competitive because it was a lot of Babe Ruth kids in that too. But it was also no soul kids, and that's where the competition really was. So that kind of made it fun, but. So going back, like I didn't have a ton of that exposure until, my name kind of got passed to those guys and I got invited to the area code tryouts, and I ended up getting, I actually didn't end up making the Northern California team.
Really? Oh, you?
No, it was two Brewers teams that represented California, SoCal and NoCal, Northern California, and I didn't make that team. However, I did well enough at the tryout for the scouting director to call one of the other teams that was represented from the South.
Okay.
And he got me in. He was like, "Look, we don't have room on our team, but here's an opportunity on another team for you to just get there. But you're going to play with guys that are from
in there, though.
Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi." So I was there, but I played with a lot of dudes that was from that side. And so that was also just another thing for me mentally that I was like, you do what you got to do, your opportunities are going to come. Like, you can't try to fix the opportunity. Facts. So when I got there, I ended up showing well. And then from that was kind of when everything started jumping off. That wasn't until the fall of my senior year though, and everybody else I played with was already committed
before
the radar
that. Now.
So that kind of put me on the radar, and that's when I knew being drafted out of high school was even an option.
Yeah.
So going through that process ended up being, was just a learning process for me and my parents. And, thankfully moms and pops was there to go through that with me.
How'd you find out the draft news?
I was actually still in school. I got drafted before I graduated. Oh, shit. I was in class during finals. I was in finals. I was in finals week, and I knew that was coming up. And I was texting my dad. I was talking to my agent, and they was like, we haven't heard anything. We'll let you know if we hear anything. Mind you, they already knew where I was getting picked all day.
They had the
list.
And
they was just like, go to school. Yeah. They just kind of kept it good for me. You know what I'm saying? And so then we at the house, and I'm at the house. It's really just me, my dad, my sisters, my mom, my grandma, and my grandpa. That was it.
Yeah.
It was small. And then there was my best friend Cam. That was it.
Yeah.
And he been my day one since we was 4 years old. So it was real intimate for me. I didn't have hella people. I also didn't really know what was really going on.
In the air.
So we was watching it, I see Robert Stevenson get drafted by the Reds. I see my boy Joe get drafted by the Padres. There was a couple other Bay dudes, like college dudes. And then all of a sudden, I just see my dad. He got him moving around, but he's going in the garage. He coming back, going in the garage, coming back. I don't know what's going on. And then next thing you know, I'm the last pick in the first round. I was the 60th pick. And then I'm just sitting there watching TV. And I'm texting Joe, I'm texting Rob, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, my name get called on the TV, bro. And it was that moment is something that I can never forget, bro. Like, I got up, I ran out the house, bro. It was a life-changing moment because you want to play professional, but you can't even really dream certain moments until you in it.
Facts.
And you like, damn, like it really just...
It happened.
It just happened.
I thought about it, but it actually happened.
It happened hella fast. And you say you want to play professional, but then to say you got drafted, it's like, damn, I got drafted. But then to say you got drafted in the first round,
it's different.
You just add layers to kind of what that really meant. So that was definitely...
It's a big deal, bro.
A big deal.
Especially out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
To have two, because Joe was that year too. That's crazy.
Joe was that. We had two dudes out of Oakland.
That's crazy.
Two dudes out of Oakland. Like real Oakland.
I know. Like, it's funny because he's talking about Oakland Babe Ruth. Both those guys were on the same team.
The same all-star team.
That's two. You didn't obviously make it to the big leagues, but still, two guys to get first round out of the same grade.
Yep. Joe was number 25. I was number 60. We 25 picks apart.
That's
35
wild,
picks
because
apart.
The draft is the whole world, or the whole U.S.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the 1%, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be nice.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Yeah, that was definitely a life-changing experience, though.
Most definitely. All right, let's talk a little bit about your minor league experience. So obviously got drafted by the Rays, ended up with a few different teams, but what was the experience like playing in the minor leagues? the different levels. You played a little indie ball as well.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, and if anything, do you have any advice for someone who just got drafted?
That was that experience, I think, is really kind of what helps mold me to who I am today, being in just getting away from home and doing that.
Yeah.
Right. I was in Florida my first year in rookie ball in this small town, damn near like a retirement town.
Yeah.
And you get out there and you kind of got to take care of yourself, but you're not in a big city. Like growing up in Oakland, like it's a city. So you go to these little small towns where the population is like 12,000, 14,000. You know, I was in a town so small it was like 2.5 miles
they know exactly
long.
your name. Yep, it's a big street.
It's just a big, long ass street. So that's all it really is. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, from a lifestyle standpoint, you really kind of understand you got to figure out how to take care of yourself, because when you become a professional, nobody is holding your hand.
Yep, exactly.
This is schedule. This is what you need to wear. This is what time you need to be here. This is what you need to do. And then when you get off the field, you not only represent yourself, you represent an organization.
Yeah.
So when you decide you want to go do something, they're not going to just say, "Oh, James Harris did this."
Yeah.
They would say, Tampa Bay Rays outfielder,
exactly.
Oakland A's outfielder, and that's what comes first. So you're representing that organization, and when the decisions that you make off the field can
first
definitely
rounder.
Exactly.
It's different.
Yeah, and that can have an effect on what your career is on the field.
For sure.
If you making bad decisions. But you talk about the on the field piece, it was definitely it was a learning experience, because you go from playing 2 to 3 high school games a week to being on the field every single day.
With dudes throwing 96, 97, a little run,
playing with them Dominicans, and they don't know where it's going.
Throwing it at your face, and then they dot
it down the
three
way.
Little sliders.
And so you just see it's a different ball game. But when you playing every single day, you realize what that grind is like. And it's not just like playing every day like I got a game. It's you get there, you have breakfast, you have your workout, then you got pregame where you're on the field doing early work, you're doing outfield work, or if you're infielder, infield work, catchers doing machine work and receiving.
Everybody working.
It's 98 degrees and humid.
AZ.
It ain't the Bay weather out here.
Oh, hell no.
So it's 98 degrees
Florida.
Every day.
Bruh.
And then you probably in a downpour.
You were in the Florida grind. That's a whole different grind,
bro. The wet humidity, and you're busting your ass.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You busting,
for real.
You getting after it, bro, for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they say, "Oh, by the way, you got a game in 2 hours."
Yes, sir.
Right, and so that definitely helps. I mean, you get tested mentally to see if you really committed to the game, because you got to go through that every single day.
You felt like you were tested hard a lot mentally when you first got in. Like if you were talking to your high school self who just got drafted, that first when you got to rookie ball, that was the biggest test of
100%. You don't even know what you're getting yourself into unless somebody has told you about it.
You think you know.
Until somebody's told you about it, that like you're about to do this every day. And nobody's going to tell you that it's going to be a day you don't feel like going to the field, but you're still expected to do your job. And so, that then starts to, as you start to move up, you start to add, because when you're in rookie ball, you don't travel as much.
Yeah.
You kind of stay within certain cities. But then when you start moving up, you're traveling. So you're playing you playing at home for 6 days, and then you go on the road and you get on the bus, and you got anywhere from a 3 or 4 hour bus ride to 12 to 13 hour bus ride, and you're trying to get sleep. You're trying to still eat. You're trying to recover. You know what I'm saying? You're still trying to, and then you got to get up and play.
Yep.
You're going to travel overnight. So you in one city for 3 days, you're in the next city for 3 days. You still got to take care of your body. You still got to lift and do your workouts to stay strong and stay healthy through the season.
Over the whole summer,
You're sleeping in hotels that ain't 5-star, because people think that when you get drafted that everything is 5-star, and it's really not.
You got to get to the league.
You're in these hotels, bro. I've had hotels where the water was brown, cigarette holes in the sheets. Like
bed bugs,
like it smelled like smoke. Like these are in small towns. Like you're in motels.
And
then every now and then you go to a city where it's nice, but every city is not like that.
Facts.
Until you get to AA, AAA, and it's a little bit higher quality.
Starts to get better.
So now you're being battle tested in terms of you don't have the best of the best stuff. Is that going to be your excuse?
You can't make an excuse.
Right?
Is what it is.
Every minor league ballpark is not the greatest. Like, you don't have the best batting cages. You don't have,
100%.
You know what I'm saying, the best locker rooms. Like, we've been in bad locker rooms where they're the size of a trailer almost.
Facts.
So it's tight. It's tight, right? The showers is not that good. 2 shower heads out of 6 work, right?
Wow.
And so that dynamic, again, you're being battle tested to say, can you go out there in between them white lines and compete? at the highest level for your goal and your dream to get to the big leagues, or you gonna make an excuse and say, well, we didn't have no cages, or it was small, I couldn't hit off the tee.
You gotta be mentally strong for sure.
You gotta be mentally strong when they go through that.
You think that's the biggest thing? If you had any type of advice for someone coming up right now, would be to be ready mentally more than anything? Or if you could go back, or if you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell them?
Be you.
Yeah.
Because the one thing, especially coming out of high school and being a first rounder, I thought that I had to be this.
You got to be the first rounder.
Superstar, like it came. I'm like, bro, I was 17.
Yeah.
My first 2 years, I couldn't sign my pro contract without my parents.
Yeah,
I needed a legal guardian to sign that, to be a professional. I was not an adult.
That's funny, bro.
Like, they're 17-year-old juniors in high school.
Thank you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you put that in perspective, like I was still kind of like a junior in high school or a senior in high school for the first 2 years of pro ball, going through this grind. So, and I was putting these expectations on myself to try to be more than who I was that they drafted.
Facts.
So it took me some time to really be like, be you.
Yeah.
Don't try to be more or put expectations on yourself to do more than what you do, and allow yourself to grow and develop within the game. And the beauty of pro ball is that you do it every day. It's your job. So you have opportunity to be able to develop and grow and become who they saw you to be, because they drafted me.
If they drafted you that
based
high,
on the potential
they see you as a big leaguer. They're not taking randoms in first round.
And they don't only draft you based on what your physical abilities are. They come sit in your house and talk to your parents. And they talk to you to figure out who you are as a person and your character and your upbringing, because they say, if he has these abilities, he got these abilities from something.
Yeah.
Who?
They're gonna break it down.
The work ethic, right? And all that. And then they're gonna say, does he have the mental and the character and the well-being to go on this grind and continue to work to develop that skill.
Facts.
As a mature young man.
Professional.
And as a professional.
Yeah.
100%.
That's, I mean, for those watching, that's good advice, for real. Like, if you just got drafted or you're trying to get drafted, you have to have somewhat of an understanding on the process. But even if you don't, just be mentally prepared for something a lot different, and being able to handle the ups and downs of it all. So being able to find what works for you mentally, and from the sounds of what you're saying, is you never know, that could have changed your whole career trajectory. Obviously you played a long time, you had a good career, but it's obviously would love to have played in the major leagues,
Oh,
so it's
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine if you had known some of this stuff 5th, 6th, 7th grade, and you could have been working at it in addition to the work you was already putting in. But
I mean, you asked earlier.
It's hindsight, yeah.
You asked earlier about, like, how do we kind of help the game? Is like taking these experiences and being able to flood it back into the next flock of kids that's coming up. And part of it is understanding that all of them is not going to be ready to receive it, but we got to be patient enough to help them through that journey, to give them what they need at that certain time based on our experience, and say, look, we're not telling you this because we don't think you're capable. We're telling you this because we think and know that you're capable, and this is what we need you to start to learn and understand in order to get to that potential of who we see you can be. You know what I'm saying? And so believing in them kids to know that. And so if we don't give them that information, we're not doing them any service.
That's the perfect transition for this right now, because we'll fast forward to what you've been doing currently. In addition to coaching the Ballers, obviously, you also started the BackyardBoyz with BJ Boyd. Shout out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got the jersey on me.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about what the BackyardBoyz is. Why did you guys create it? Truly, like, what it is and what your mission is with that organization.
BackyardBoyz was something that me and BJ put together because we just saw what the culture was like in youth baseball.
And it's ugly.
And we was like, they not even having fun no
Exactly,
more.
Bro. They're not embracing the game.
We was like, bro, we need to just take it back to like how it is when you're in the backyard playing with your boys and y'all got a wiffle ball or a tennis ball and you coming up with rules. But the legit piece of it is just that you're competing, but you having fun at the same time. And how do we create a fun baseball environment? And so we wanted to just create that. And we knew that it was guys with talent, and we wanted to get them all on the same field. And a lot of these kids got talent. Yeah. But a lot of them don't. They press so much because they think that at 13 years old that they got to be a D1 prospect. It's like, well, you're 13. You still got 25, 30, 40 pounds to put on. You still got 4 to 5, 6 inches of height to grow.
Exactly.
And
you're not even close to what you're going to be.
You still got 5 years of baseball to learn.
What do you think it caused that? Do you think it's social media? You think it's just travel ball lifestyle? What do you think is causing that shift? I mean, with what you guys are doing, you're trying to combat that. You're trying to beat the shift that's going on. But what do you think is causing it? We can't fix it without knowing the root cause.
The business of baseball.
Yeah.
It's not the kids' fault.
Facts.
It's what's being sold.
Yeah.
What are you selling? So as an organization, are you selling
What's
exposure?
The message? Yeah.
Or are you trying to, like in Little League, create an environment where you were raising young men, or for softball, young women, to learn and grow as young individuals, but teaching life through the game of baseball. That's what it was. I had coaches that are mentors. I can call any of my Little League coaches right now,
and it'll be like,
and they're gonna pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And ain't none of them gonna ask me about. They're gonna ask me how am I doing.
Yeah.
They're not gonna ask me about baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The life aspect of it.
And so, just to answer that question, it's just the business of baseball. It changed the culture, and so now parents start to press to say, I need to put this much into my kid, and then the kid feels the pressure of having to go do good every time they play versus understanding
feeling
that, bruh,
stressing.
It don't matter how good you are in this game, you're going to fail 70% of the
100%.
time. So can parents see that? And so where they're defining success as is, did my kid get this number of strikeouts? Did my kid get this number, get this many hits?
It's the wrong
Did they
way
win
to
these
look at
number
it.
of tournaments or championships to determine the growth of their kid? And it's like, your kid started off this season in March striking out 8 out of 12 at-bats in a tournament, and now they got one strikeout and 4 hits. They're 4 for 12 with 1 strikeout, and you're like,
it's the end of the world.
You're like, but my kid's not hitting for enough power like Johnny over there. And it's like, I don't even think you see the growth in your kid.
It's
you got to play the long game in this. Like, the game is changing.
There's dudes who
for baseball to evolve.
Suck when they're young and just barely even play in high school and then end up in the big leagues. It's
his dudes that was the best kid since sliced bread, and everybody caught up to him because he was the biggest kid. And so it just gets back to when you see a lot of kids or you see a lot of people in general at their best version of their self, not just as an athlete, as the best version of their self.
On and off the field,
they're having fun. And they're having fun. Like you go to the arcade with your partners and you see the best version of your friends when y'all having fun. When you at the house and you having a kickback, you know what I'm saying? Your family, y'all have fun together. You see the true versions of each other in those environments. But when you stress, you just see people kind of go into a shell, or I think they over-project certain things that they try to be when you don't really have to, So if the whole purpose of our organization as a Backyard Boys is to bring more fun to the field. And when people come, that's what they're coming for. Is they come in to play baseball but have fun doing it. And when I think that if you looked at our media, our page, and you looked at our videos,
promoting the kids,
what you see is kids having fun. You see them laughing, and you see us laughing with them and hanging out with them, as opposed to you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like, they're gonna learn. They're gonna make mistakes.
The music going, like, it's a vibe.
Yeah, we play music. We have food. We try to bring people back to hang out and stuff too. So that's our biggest thing. And I think the other part of our organization is also being able to help create exposure through people that we know and our contacts in our network, and being able to do that in a way where you don't have to leave the Bay Area to do it. How can we bring more exposure to where we're at, as opposed to all of our best kids leaving and going somewhere else, or any of these kids leaving and going elsewhere? And so if we can be able to filter the high schools with more developed kids, if we can be able to take those high school kids
they're already ready
and move into junior colleges in the area, or Division I, Division II schools in Northern California, and now opportunities like the Oakland Ballers, we pride ourselves in being able to find kids that went to Cal, Stanford, St. Mary's, Sonoma State, East Bay, UOP. You think about all the schools that's in this area, San Jose State,
it's loaded,
right? Like, how can we be able to find more homegrown talent and put them on a platform that's going to help them get that exposure? So that's really what we want to do, is take the homegrown talent and bring outside entities in to say, this is what we're doing in the Bay.
Yeah, it's different.
The Bay Area is our backyard, is really our turn. Our slogan is that the whole Bay Area is our backyard. We don't try to target one specific area or group of kids.
I love that.
That's what it's about.
That's clean. Building off of that, obviously you're born and raised out here in Oakland. Give a little perspective on the impact of losing all three teams here, like the Warriors, the Raiders. Obviously the Warriors are just in San Francisco, but they gone. They're not playing at Oracle no more. It's different. Losing the A's now, Raiders obviously. Talk a little bit about what the future looks like for Oakland. Obviously, you broke down a little bit what the Ballers are doing here, but just what do you think the future looks like here?
I think, one, it's kind of devastating because, again, we just talked about earlier things being tangible.
Yeah, and it's gone.
And every sports team that was here, you think about all the young athletes that are here, who do they look up to? Who is still tangible to come into their community and say, you can be like me, right? When I went to Westlake Middle School, and I remember when Nick Swisher came to my middle school.
Nick Swisher too in elementary. That's hella funny.
And so,
but that's gone.
Going to
all
those schools,
gone. All of that's
going
gone.
to those schools and getting into the community, right? Or having players come to Oakland Babe Ruth. Like, we was right down the street from. You could hear them announcing Miguel Tejada and Eric Chavez,
fireworks,
and Terrence Long and Jermaine Dye. Like, these are names going
right
back to the A's,
bro.
and you're playing in your game. And these are the guys that are literally right there that when you look, you can see the lights and you can hear the sound, you can hear the crowd.
Tangible.
It was right there. So when that's not there, you know, I think that's tough. And so now you see a lot of these kids idolizing people that are not even out, that's not even here.
In the community.
But, you know, I think that the opportunity that's been created with the Oakland Ballers is for us to still be that in the community. And, you know, you think about the fans.
Something real.
One of the main things that, you know, our owner Paul Freeman talks about is sports is an avenue where you bring people from a lot of different walks of life and cultures together to root for one thing.
Yeah.
It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what you like outside of anything other
together.
than this one thing that we can all agree on,
connect on,
and support. You get what I'm saying? And so sports brings community. And when sports get taken out of communities, then what? And you think about the number of people that have connected at games, friends and family members that were raised at games.
You know what I'm saying? Especially here, though.
So
it's the community that you're creating, and it's something different.
And not only that, man, it sucks because if you've ever been to a Raiders game,
they've turned.
Oracle Warriors game,
one of the best arenas,
the loudest arena
in NBA. Come on,
a packed A's game. The culture of those games are crazy.
I miss it already, bro.
Tailgating at Raider games was like no other.
It's up.
I'm gonna put this out there. Y'all can talk as much crap as y'all want about the Raiders. We was undefeated in the parking lot. We was undefeated in the parking lot. If you ever been to a Raider tailgate, you feel me right now because I knew people that would come tailgate and not even go to the game.
Exactly. They there for that.
They was there for that.
And that's enough.
The food, the music, the whole environment, the culture, right? Like dancing, right? Like, and we had the best looking fans out there, men and women. You get what I'm saying? So it was just somewhere you wanted to be. It was a party. It was a function. It was a community. So when you lose that, it's like you taking something away from the city that brought people together, and that's what keep the city whole.
All at once, bro.
That's what keep the city whole.
We losing the Raiders, all right, we still got the Warriors and A's. We lose the Warriors, all right, we got the A's. All that just happened. It's devastating. That's why I wanted to ask you, just because it's I don't know.
But the future is here.
Yeah, the future is here.
The future is here, man. So with the Oakland Ballers, and for you guys that don't know, the Oakland Ballers is a new independent league team for the Pioneer League. Which is an MLB partner league, and we sign a lot of players that are anywhere between 0 to 3 years played professionally.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of guys that are kind of on the border of getting drafted right out of college, just missed the draft, or they would have been drafted and signed in other independent leagues, but we're just another platform to help guys continue to progress in their professional career.
Yeah.
So, and we're right in West Oakland.
We in the heart of it.
And Raimondi Park is a historic field where you had, Ernie Raimondi and Kurt Flood and Veda Pinson. You had these Oakland baseball legends that have been here, but where a lot of Oakland baseball started. And so I think that says a lot in itself.
The history aspect.
And just the location of it is very powerful. in a West Oakland community that's evolving, that's right literally on the other side of the bridge of San Francisco.
Thanks.
So, you know, we're reviving this community where we've cleaned up a lot of homeless.
No doubt. This place was
this
crazy
place was,
before.
it was run down. You know,
hey, what they did with this field is amazing, bro. I had my doubts when they're like, "Oh, we're taking over Raimondi." I'm like, "Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting." And then you come here and you see, and you're like, "Wow, they killed it. This is dope."
It changed. I played on this field in high school. It's nostalgic for me too to actually be back on this field and being a part of this.
It's pro.
Being a part of this project and this organization, which I'm very grateful and thankful for within just the opportunity. But to see how this is transformed, it's brought light to this area, and it makes people want to come back. And I think we've been able to have people from so many other communities outside of Oakland gravitate to Oakland again. They coming into Oakland. People coming from Walnut Creek. Dude, I've seen hoodies in Brentwood, Walnut Creek,
hey, at our
Fairfield.
Camp, you should have seen it. The moms and parents had the Ballers hoodies on.
So I think that it's growing. And so I think that what our ultimate goal is to be a huge impact in the community in terms of just our involvement with different community groups and organizations, youth groups and organizations. We had Burkhalter Elementary to help design one of the shirts that
that's what I love about it, is how it's
we took. So we're trying to really
bring everyone together,
implant ourselves or ingrain ourselves into the community, to let them know that like we're here to stay. And we did a community funding, so we have fan owners.
Different.
So now the fans actually have a say in some things that are going on, and they feel like they're a part of this organization. And so we want to build this team and this organization with the community and for the community, and for the city. And so I think that
going crazy.
I think that's the biggest impact that we can make on this city, is let them know that we're here to stay and we're building it with y'all.
It's the inspiration.
So we can stay,
for me, it's it'll always be how it hit me yesterday, because I ran that camp yesterday and it was in Oakland, bro. There were countless kids who are just talking about the Ballers or just excited about it. Parents walking in with the hoodies on. I'm like, wow, it's really, the impact is going to be hopefully forever. I'm hoping the Ballers are here to stay. Obviously,
that's the vision.
Exactly. The vision is there. It's harder to execute on everything. So obviously, hopefully it happens.
I mean,
the plan is there. The plan is there.
Our relationship with the fans is more important than anything.
Yep.
Right. Is what can we do to serve the community?
Finding
right. We did last year. We did a game where we had this app where the fans can pick what could happen. It was a fan controlled game.
He's gonna have to pitch.
It was crazy, but that's one thing. It's one thing that the Pioneer League allows us to do, is be innovative in the things that we do.
They're trying new things
to keep the fans and keep the fans entertained and excited about what's happening on the field. And so the app allowed them to pick the strikeout pitch. It allowed them to set the lineup of where guys were playing.
Next pitcher,
the next pitcher that was coming out of the bullpen. So again, that's another way for us to say, we hear you. Now, is that something we're gonna do all the time?
No, hell no.
But it was a fun experience to even be able to do.
Kids will remember that. Like, there's gonna be random days. But that's why I wanted to shout out the signature day, because to me that was one of the dopest things about the Ballers, is how all those kids that come on a Sunday not only can run on the field, do their thing, but after they can meet, it could literally be like, James, like, it's nice to meet you. Like, can you sign this ball for me, little kid? And it's just take a picture with you. That alone, you can't. There's no number that you can put on that.
We had players that knew kids and fans on a first name basis.
And
these players, remember, like, we had some homegrown guys, but we had guys that was from Texas,
all over the
Florida,
place,
the
Bahamas,
Northeast, SoCal. We had a dude from the Bahamas, and so they're coming into our community, and our community is welcoming them, right, and embracing them and letting them know, like, man, we support y'all, and so. That's again what this environment does.
They hungry, bro, because of the way that everything's transpired with the A's. The fans here are hungry for something good. So,
dude,
I'm hopeful.
Over 96 games last year, we serviced over 100,000 fans. Or 48 home games. 48 home games.
The biggest thing I tell people is that wasn't there before. Obviously, the A's and everything were here, but with them leaving, what is there to fill that void, and what is there to the way I look at it is provide inspiration to the next generation, because our generation, we lost the A's. We lost
everybody we grew up with.
They
lost everybody we grew up with.
So now it's like, all right, we got to find a way to inspire, but also bring some type of positivity to the community, and hopefully bring back Oakland Babe Ruth, bring back different entities that can help raise up Oakland, but also the greater Bay Area. You feel me? 100%. This is the heart of it. This is literally where everybody.
Bro, we're probably 30 to 40 minutes from everywhere.
Exactly.
From here, 30 minutes to Vallejo.
No traffic.
But no traffic. We don't even talk about traffic.
Don't move here. It's nice.
30 to 40 minutes from Vallejo. 30 to 40 minutes from San Jose. We right across the bridge from San Francisco. You throw a rock and hit. You know what I'm saying? You throw a rock and you hit San Francisco.
Yeah,
you go further east. Walnut Creek area. That's 15, 20 minutes. You go a little further out. So we're in a space where if we cast a net within a 40-mile radius, we're gonna hit so many different communities to say, like, we support y'all.
We're really out here.
We support y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and we really pride ourselves in being involved within that. A lot of our sponsors are Oakland businesses.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so we try to do a lot of business with them, because we want to be able to help grow that as well.
Raise them up. And it's all about raising them up, especially with a organization like this. It's finding creative ways to not just promote, but just elevate Oakland itself.
100%.
Because there's a lot of, not just culture here, but just a lot of good things coming out of here, and it gets a lot of bad rep. And it pisses me off. And it's just like, damn. It's seeing the repercussions of it and seeing what happens. It's hard to put a number on it, but look at Oakland Babe Ruth. It barely even exists anymore. Obviously, there's reasons for that, but that's a small microcosm of what I'm talking about. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end. Let's talk a little bit about what does the future for James Harris look like? Obviously, you with the Ballers this season, you could talk a little bit about that role, but like, what are some of your goals, not only with BackyardBoyz, but just, you kind of broke it down already, but just in the community and in the Bay and Oakland specifically?
Future-wise, man, from the Baller standpoint, is just to continue to put a good team on the field for the community, and then I think from a fan and community standpoint, is just continue to be involved.
Yeah, finding different ways.
In my position, because I work in the front office as well.
Yeah, this man does everything. I won't lie. He does everything.
Yeah, I work in in the off season, I work in the front office with our GM. I talk to our owners a lot, and just us creating ways to still be involved in the community. But the main avenue that I focus a lot in is where our youth and community connections are. And so, my goal is to be able to connect with more community youth groups, our recreation centers that are in Oakland, like EOIDC, Tassafaranga, Rainbow, Brookfield,
all over. You tapped in.
Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. All those different community groups, and if you're watching, man, reach out, because we want to be involved. I want to get players to be able to come out and talk to kids and share their journey of where they are. I want to be able to invite those families and those groups out to games to be a part of what we're building
and see it
and can see that. And so that's where a lot of my avenue is on that side of the game. And then on the coaching side, I just want to continue to grow as a coach.
For sure.
This was actually my first year coaching professionally. I
coached James.
I coached in high school, but I'm learning and evolving as a coach. I coach alongside Aaron Miles, who's our manager, who's
World Series winner.
He's from Antioch.
Yep.
He's from Antioch, and he played in the big leagues 9 years. He won a World Series, so he has a lot that he brings to the game from knowledge-wise, and he also played under managers and coaches that won. Tony La Russa, Clint Hurdle, like you're talking about dudes that are Hall of Fame managers that not only understood the game of baseball, but they understood how to win.
Yeah.
And so now for me, I'm like, I look at the game strategically on a whole different level than what I did before. And when I coach at the high school level, I don't necessarily just coach to win games. I coach to develop the kids because their journey is so much longer. And so there's things that they need to be able to do, and I need to be able to coach them a certain way that's going to allow them to fail in order to learn. However, if we lose now, we learn to win later.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so that coaching at that level is different. So a move that I'm gonna make, I might leave a pitcher in a little bit longer because I need him to understand how to handle adversity.
Yep.
But if I'm in this game with the Ballers,
no.
and I'm trying to win today, I'm calling to the bullpen because he don't have it right now. But however,
get rocked.
where that learning moment might be is I need to pull him out of the game now because we still want to win. But I'm gonna have a conversation with him to say you're still available tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's every day.
Because you know what I'm saying? We play every day, so you're still going to be available, if not tomorrow, in 2 days.
Next day, for sure.
So you still need to have that confidence to know that you can pitch in this game, and you're going to learn from how you're going to attack these hitters differently. What adjustment are you going to make in your bullpen, you know, to now then bring it into the game?
Yep.
So, you know, I'm going to learn. I feel like I'm learning a lot more on a coaching aspect and catching those guys along their journey. And helping them understand that this is just a stepping stone, that it's not the end. You know, and then on a personal side, you know, I have, you know, a lot of guys that I work with that I train. I think it's just continuing to help those guys grow along their journey and building a community of those guys.
No doubt.
To say, like, you know, if you and this guy I work with, I want you guys to know each other because I want you guys to be able to work together. And now they're linked up, and when they come home, iron sharpens iron, and they can be able to keep growing and pushing each other. So just continuing to connect with ball players that want to push themselves to the next level.
No doubt.
I don't sell dreams, and for those families that have been around me, I try to keep it as 100 as I can with you and say, look, this is where you at.
It's better that way.
This is where you're trying to. Yeah, and if you want to get here, this is what it's going to take. I can't do the work for you. I don't have no magic potion to tell you that if you hit like this, it's going to work. You got to still put in the work. Like, I can give you the tools, but you got to use them.
Bruh. You're not on the mound with them.
I just
You're not
want to be
running
able
the
to
bases. You got to give them the knowledge, and then they got to attack it with the right work ethic. And I already know you giving them the right game, so now it's low key on them.
It's on them.
Like, you gotta really want it and have a love for the game.
I just want to be able to pass that message along. You know, my days of playing are over with, and you know, my opportunity changed along my career, and that's something that I try to get them to understand too. You know, I didn't. You know, I made it up as high as AAA for a little bit, and I played indie ball for a few years and did well. But, you know, I mean, for those who don't know, which is a part of my story, is that when I was with the A's, I actually was diagnosed with a heart arrhythmia. So in spring training, I was on the field, and I passed out, I was unconscious twice. And so, you know, I was able to go through
twice
within 10 days. And
serious.
It was something that, again, you talk about being battle tested. It's something that I take with me into now, is that you're going to get knocked down.
No doubt. It's happening. It's coming.
You're going to get knocked down. And you know, I stayed in the game, and I was able to go through, you know, rehab and get myself back up to playing. And unfortunately, that medical liability of anything cardiac is challenging for teams that want to take a chance on that.
For sure.
You know,
because you got to put it in all this contracts, everything.
Dude, I had 3 teams that offered contracts and pulled that back because of the medical piece. And it's like, you know, for me, I felt like I was stripped of an opportunity, but in reality, I think it's where it gave me more opportunity to learn and now build more of who I am outside of the game and being able to pass that along to some of these kids. And that's kind of where a lot of my passion of coaching really comes into play.
I think everything you're talking about is all going to help you in the long run. All of this is just part of your story, part of your journey, but that's truly what's going to help you on the coaching side. At the end of the day, it's not going to be helping him with his mechanics. You can help all that. It's on them to figure it out, but you can give them the pieces, but it's more the story you just told, the stories of you talking about your playing days, different things that you went across when you were playing. That has more impact on a kid. That has more impact on not just them. This is bigger than just on the field too, bro. This is them wanting to go to school, wanting to achieve something better, just trying to elevate, not just on the field, but in life. Feel me?
Man, they say the game is 90% mental, and it's
Facts.
real because you put 2 kids side by side and they can both hit the ball country mile, but it ain't the one that's going to stand out is the one that's more locked in mentally, because he's going to be able to repeat it and do it consistently and understand the what, the how of he's doing it, and then he's going to be able to ride that wave of what the game is going to throw at you, and know that you're going to go through slumps, but you're going to be able to make your adjustments and get through it and everything. So the mental piece of it is definitely real, and that's where I think that our biggest impact as coaches now that's where our biggest impact is for these kids is helping them understand where that mental toughness is in order to play this game, because
for a long time you're going to need it. It's essential.
And it will translate into your day-to-day life.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm saying. It's like these are lessons, you might be coaching at the time, but kind of bringing it back to Babe Ruth. Those coaches, they were your baseball coach. Yeah, they coached your all-star team and all that, but they were damn near life coaches. They were helping you get prepared for the BS that's coming with no matter who you are in your life, there's going to be different trials and tribulations. So if you think it's all sunshine and rainbows, you in for a tough one. So it's like you got to be able to handle it. That's the thing.
It's, one of my Little League coaches, he passed away. He passed away when I was 12. It was my last year in Little League, and he was my coach since I was 5.
Yeah.
And again, one of the biggest impacts on my baseball career, because that's really what kind of kept me playing, because I started with him. And one thing he used to tell us all the time, and I ended up getting it tatted, but I stand on it and I believe in it, is he always said, stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. And,
exactly.
And to me, what that means is if you put your head down,
grind,
and you grind and you do your work, you stay ready for that opportunity, so that when it comes, you're ready to jump on it. But if that opportunity comes and you're trying to get ready for that opportunity,
don't have time for it.
The opportunity's already gone. So, that, like you said, the coaches that we had in Little League, those were our mentors. Those are always our mentors. My high school coach, Coach Clayton at Tech, talk to him I talk to him at least a few times a month.
No doubt.
We have an hour-long conversation every time, because he just continues to.
It's the impact.
He continues to water me like as a seed, as one of his sons, so I can continue to grow. And he's still a mentor to me. So I never lose those mentors in my life.
No doubt.
Got
to. All right, I end every show with this. You got 5 quick questions. He don't know none of these though. These all off the dome, bruh.
I'm just answering. Is it trivia, or is it just I'm answering?
It's your
what
person. No rush. Hey, it's just you just don't know any of them.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with number 1. I ask almost everybody this. Who are your top 5 MLB players of all time?
All time?
All time.
Barry Bonds, number 1.
Easy. That's easy.
Barry Bonds, number 1. Ricky Henderson, R.I.P. man.
Yeah.
Another one of my mentors, number 2. Oakland Tech alum, Oakland Bay Area legend.
The ties run deep, bro.
Man, they go deep. They go deep. That's number 2. Griffey, number 3. Griff. I'm biased, man, because I start to go into my favorites. I start to go into my favorites more than I do like Jimmy was always one of my favorites too, and he another Bay, legend. And I looked up to those guys because they was all from here. Again, tangible, right? Jimmy used to come around the ballpark.
Dontrell Willis, same type of deal.
Dontrell, you know what I'm saying? My last one.
It's a solid list, though.
Man, the last one. Man, that's.
You got a current one? Who's your favorite player in the league right now?
Currently?
Yeah. That could be number 5.
Mookie, that's the homie. Yeah. Mookie doing his thing.
He going crazy.
Yeah, me and Mookie came up in the minors. He was with the Red Sox when I was with the Rays.
Yeah.
That's the homie.
World Series champ.
Yeah, he doing his thing.
Yeah, he going crazy.
Yeah, Mook, man, his style. He played a game with a chip. He always got that chip, and I bet he still got that chip playing with Ohtani because they give him a lot of light.
Easy.
But Mook,
he cold, bro.
Come on, bro.
He one of the best players in the league.
Still one of the best players in the league.
Easy.
So I'm gonna round it off right there.
He went straight from winning Gold Gloves and right to play shortstop in the big leagues, bro. That shit's not easy.
And kept hitting.
Leading out for the Dodgers, bro.
Bro, if he's in the lineup, bro, it's a problem.
Yep. All right, next one. This doesn't. You might have a Bay Area bias, but this you could do in general too. Who are your top 3 favorite music artists? You could do a Bay one too if you want, but I'm gonna let you pick.
I mean, Pac is a legend for me. Like, again, that's kind of Bay roots. You know what I'm saying?
People gonna watch this too, so
I know.
You got to make sure you're on point.
I'm like, you catch me listening to me, bro. Sue, I used to listen to I Am Sue growing up all the time.
Yeah.
So Sue still run for me, and when I say my favorite, I'm just thinking about like,
I
know, Kendrick, J. Cole, they're like top in the game of like everything. Sure. But when when I think about like what I listen to all the time,
music station,
I'm like, I Am Sue always kind of run. We run that at our camps.
Yeah.
I Am Sue is always running at our camps because it's like it's just Bay music, and that vibe of the Bay is a different energy.
One more.
And then, I mean, 40, I always got to go
easy.
with 40, you know what I'm saying? And too short. E40 and short kind of go in that. That's a
hand in hand.
That's a kind of a slash where they kind of rock number 3. I'm always going to be kind of biased to the Bay in terms of my favorite artists and people that I listen to.
Nah. I like that list. That's solid. Throwing I'm Sue in there.
I'm Sue is it's a wild card.
I love that
there.
one. That's one of my favorites too, bro.
Yeah.
No, I like that list. All right, next one. You might have multiple answers for this one too, but for someone who's never been here or just new to Oakland, what's the best spot to eat in Oakland?
The best spot to eat in Oakland?
Yeah, it could be anything, bro. Or like your favorite.
I ain't gonna lie,
different types.
If you come to the Bay, bro, you need to go to find a taco truck.
First thing,
Taco Sinaloa, Guadalajara,
I like the one off
El Gordo.
Yep.
El Gordo is hella good. You can go sit at a restaurant, but just that taco truck
hit different.
is different. and it's not just about the food, it's just the idea. It's like when you go to like other countries and they say like street food, and you eating it out the tent and they got the little situation. But like just walking up to the truck and being able to get in, they pull out, you got the foil over the top and it's coming off hot.
Too.
Like you got to find you a taco truck. You come to the Bay. That's always, that's always going to be something for me.
Nah, that's a good answer.
That's
what I thought you was going to say, to be honest.
That's what I'm going to go with. I can't even.
No, that's a good one. My favorite, Guadalajara off Fruitvale.
Oh, Fruitvale.
Yeah,
bro, they got a burrito that's like
huge,
like from here to here. It's hella big. Yeah.
All right, couple more. This is a good one. I think you might have a good answer. If you could make any shoe into a baseball cleat, what would it be? Any shoe? Any shoe. All time. Like that you were always like, dang, I wish that was a cleat. I would rock that.
My favorite cleat of all time is the Huarache 2K4s.
The OG.
The Huarache 2. If you don't know what those are,
I know which one you talking about.
If you don't know what those are, go look, bro.
All
they
those
was
Huaraches
light.
When we were kids went crazy.
Yeah, the Huarache 2K4s, and that was at the same time because Kobe actually had he was like rocking those. And I'm a LeBron fan anyways, but I respect Kobe. I respect the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But no, the Huarache 2K4s, they made them as cleats. Yeah. And they
clean. They need to bring. Hey, I won't lie. They need to bring those Nike. Y'all need to bring those back.
They have to, bro. Those are like nostalgic, like in terms of just playing. They was light. They had the high top version, but then like in hoop shoes, they had hella colorways for them. And so if I could go back, like if I was now playing, I would want to find like a whatever colorway of my team was. And throw some cleats on the bottom of those as shoes. I would want to make those cleats again because those are my favorite. But when I played, the other shoe that I really liked was the ones because I made some when I was in Stockton, and this was before Nike even made the Jordan ones. Yeah. I hit custom cleats. Shout out Jeremy Guthrie. I hit him, and they that's where they put the soles. Yeah, Jeremy Guthrie. He played in the big league with the Royals. The Orioles all there.
He got shoe game.
Exactly my point.
Yeah, crazy.
So he started putting hella cleats together. So I sent them there back in the day, and I made some Jordan 1s that matched our uniform that was clean.
Tough.
And so 1s was always just hella comfortable for me. I would go with them too.
All right, another solid answer. We gonna end it with this last one. What's your favorite thing about Oakland? My boy, born and raised. What's something that you'll never take that love away?
Honestly, it's the culture and the personality of Oakland because Oakland is not Oakland is in you.
Yeah, it's not on you for real.
Oakland is in you. Yeah. You can wear A's, Raiders, whatever like teams or whatever. You could wear stuff and say like I'm from there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like, oh yeah, where you from? Oh, I'm from the Bay. Like, no, I said I'm from Oakland.
It's specific.
And when you go elsewhere and you meet somebody else from Oakland, it's an instant bond. It's an instant bond. And so for me, I just think that it's the pride of it.
Yeah.
The pride of being from Oakland. And when you somebody that's from Oakland, you stand on it.
Facts.
And anybody from Oakland knows that. Like when you go somewhere, you don't ever say like, oh, I'm from the Bay.
Yeah.
I'm from Oakland.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where Oakland is, we buy San Francisco, but I'm going to let you know where it's at. And I'm going to let you know that
San Francisco back.
Yeah, no, I'm from Oakland. Where's Oakland? It's right next to San Francisco if you know that place.
Yeah.
But I'm from Oakland. I'm gonna let you know. I'm not gonna tell you I'm from the Bay Area. I'm not gonna tell you I'm from San Francisco.
That foo-foo.
I'm not gonna tell you a surrounding city. I'm gonna tell you
facts.
the heart of the
heart
city.
Of it.
You know what I'm saying? The pinpoint, like where Lake Merritt is, the coordinates of where they put Oakland is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from Oakland.
Well, all the pictures you be seeing, that's where they at.
Yeah, and in Oakland, I just feel like Oakland stand for a lot. So it would be no reason for me to not claim Oakland.
No doubt.
I take pride in that.
I think the biggest thing you just said is something I tell people all the time. It's in you, not on you. A lot of people trying to fake it nowadays. So it's kind of like, it's not something you can fake. It's something that you just kind of, you got it on. You feel me? It's a part of you to the day you die.
I mean, I want to go to Oakland. Like,
okay,
let's go then. You know, and that's just what it is.
It's funny telling people outside of California specifically, like, oh yeah, I'm from Oakland. I'm from the Bay, whatever you want to say. Because they have this picture, not just of Oakland, but San Francisco.
It's like, that was on the background.
Like, oh my God, Gotham City. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's Oakland different, bro. And people that's not from Oakland, I'll tell you this much, bro. If your boy, if you had a partner and you was somewhere, it was like, where you from? He sound from Oakland. Like, you ain't from Oakland, bro. You from Berkeley. You from Walnut Creek. You from
Piedmont.
You know what I'm saying? So when you from Oakland, you don't let nobody else claim Oakland that's not from Oakland. You wear, like I said, you wear it with pride. It's like you can't say you from Oakland and not really know what it means to be from Oakland.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my favorite part about it is the pride. Like when you from there, you own it.
No doubt.
You feel me?
Well, shoot. James Harris, everybody, the one and only.
Yes, sir. We just did this with no agenda.
Oakland's finest. You know we in the building. You got any message for the people?
Man,
that was a good one.
Keep working, bro. And hey, if you get a chance, come out to a Ballers game, bro. It's fun. We got 4,200 seats. Fill them up.
Turn it up. It's low-key it's a mini collie in here. When it's rocking,
it's fun.
Real fun, bro.
Fun. But we right by the water. Bring a jacket.
No doubt, bro.
Hey, we right by the water. Bring a jacket.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Everything you, BJ, Tyson, Loyal to My Soil, everything y'all doing. We just got to keep this momentum going, keep it rocking, you feel me? And just, let's get it.
It's a community.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's for the community.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out that watermelon water. Shout out that watermelon water.
Mama, I made the network.